The last presenter today is the president of our union, Steve Lang, who had been fighting for our rights since he was elected for this position. And he has been very helpful in the conversations, both with the politicians that decide this process and also educating the board. So Steve, you can start your presentation.
I'm just going to fill in a few things so that you can get to any questions you have for any of the speakers. Thank you very much for putting this together, Adriana and Susie, and thanks for all the people who have done all this work to put the basics together. Where we are right this very second and what's our current urgent need to move forward. First off, legally, it is true that we have challenged with an unfair labor practice. Ed is correct. There are 3 of them that are out there. Our hearing is coming up soon. I will actually be meeting with the lawyers this afternoon. The 2 plaintiffs that are named representing our chapter are myself and Karen Brumsberger, who is our grievance chair. And we will be going forward on that to some kind of a hearing. I have heard from the other chapter presidents that there are a total of 6 different ULPs filed, almost all of them over PTR and arbitration, that are in the pipeline. We were the second one filed, but we will be the third one to go to a hearing. And our contracts are all slightly different from each other. And we feel like our contract is one of the strongest ones to go to the ULP because of our 1.2 in the article that says that the university will not have any regulations, rules, or policies that violate this contract without bargaining them. So you can read 1.2a if you'd like to yourself. Now, that leaves us, though, with an urgent issue, which Richard alluded to, which is quite important. In order to do some union busting, the legislature passed in this last round this need to recertify all of your chapters. This is the first time that we've had to certify our representation of chapters since the days of Jeb Bush and moving to the Board of Governors. And there are 2 ways to do that. One of them you probably have seen or gotten in your mailboxes or had something in your box at home, and that is what we call the SOI, or Statement of Interest cards. Basically, to be just blunt, an SOI or statement card is a petition. You sign 2 of them, we keep a copy, and we give a copy to the state. You have to do that by your original certification date, and our certification date is coming up, I think, in March. It's either March 8th or 9th. And at that time, we will turn those in. And then when the cards are sent in, there are 2 choices. One of the choices is for the state of Florida to mail all the faculty an election where they vote to be represented by a union. Or the other possibility, which did happen once in the past, is that the Board of Trustees looks at all the hundreds and thousands of cards that they've gotten. They say, we're just going to recognize the union as bargaining this contract without bothering to go through the election. That's a possibility that they could do. So we need to have as many of the SOI cards as possible. It'd be really great if we had 80 and 90%. The second way you can certify your chapter is the membership. The exact number of people in the membership was set by the legislature. Again, we've challenged all these things as unconstitutional. We don't know what some court or a PERC might rule, but the current law is that they want us to have 60% of members of the in-unit faculty, because we have a lot of people who are not in unit, as members of the chapter. And again, that's actually the easiest and best way for us to show our power to the Board of Trustees and Board of Governors, and that is for everybody to simply sign up to be a member. And then as that membership grows, then we will achieve certification without even having to do the petition election. So that's kind of where our urgency is right now. Our urgency is in the next month, well, actually several weeks, if possible. If you have not signed cards, then please sign them and turn them in or mail them back. And if you have not joined with e-dues, then we would like for you to do that. We had I think we had 175 faculty who were active members having dues deductions who never bothered to switch over to e-dues. 175. That's a huge number of members who've been members of the chapter paying dues for a long time who just did not sign up and do the e-dues. Pretty simple thing to do. It works very well. I've been doing it for a year, and if people are not in the e-dues, then please sign up. And that's a really good thing too. I think e-dues was a great decision because the university does not know you're a member. We filed an unfair labor practice 3 years ago because our university, University of South Florida, would give a list of the names of the union members to non-union people. So they could take your name as a union member and give it to the Proud Boys or whatever you want, you know. And we filed an unfair labor practice over that, which we did not win. But at this time, because of e-dues, the universities and the university system would not even know who the members are unless we told them. They would not, and we would not. So they won't even know who's a member and who's not. On our continuing legal challenges, we have that one challenge that we're going to talk with lawyers about this afternoon. We fully intend to revive that lawsuit that was withdrawn because of the particular court it was going to. We'd like to revive that. We are challenging both the PTR and the loss of due process. And we would really, really like to get more of the other institutions in our area involved. So that's the short answer to our urgency for right now, is to get the SOI cards and to get the membership dues in and get the e-dues going. We have other plans and things that you've heard about, a lot about some of those, but that's the basics. So I think maybe we'll stop and answer some questions specifically for all of our panelists if we can.